every single thing that you need to know about how to live your life in a grand style. We do that better here on the Koko Digest Morning Show and, of course, on the lifestyle segment. I am Miriam Abna Adede, and that was Davido featuring Omale on their favorite track, With You. Now, today we are going to be discussing something that has to do with music. I mean, in this time and age where just raw talent is not enough, you need something, a touch of branding to put yourself up there. And that is a conversation we are going to be having today. We have a guest with us in the studio, and she's going to help us in understanding what it means to have a brand or brand yourself in the Ghanaian music industry. And she's a Ghanaian artist, an Afro-pop artist, and she does so well at what she does. You're going to be hearing, some acapellas here and there. You're also going to get to know a bit about her. And so, yes, before I introduce her, let me remind you that we're streaming live on Facebook and also on YouTube. You can also send in your comments to our WhatsApp number, which will be displayed on your screen, and also via our streaming platforms as well. We'll be doing some birthdays as well, and so if you have birthday messages, you can also send them, and we'll gladly read them out. Okay, so we have Madam Precious Jewel in the studio. I added Madam because, she's a madam. Hello, Ma.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much
for
having me here.
Right. The last time I saw you was at the Civil Service Week celebration.
Yes.
And it was, a fantastic performance over there. I saw how you put yourself out there to let people recognize you. And I think that was how come our producer got to you.
Yes.
And I saw you thought you were branded in a Ghanaian, style. So to you personally, when we talk about branding, what does it mean to you?
Okay, before I even go there, let me thank God Almighty for bringing me this far, and my fans, and the Ministry of Tourism for helping me perform actually at that program. It was amazing. The PRO, thank you so much. The Chief Tourism Officer, thank you so much. I really appreciate you for giving me that opportunity. Yes, I really love what I did actually there. It was so amazing.
We all loved it,
Yes, really. I saw that. And it was so amazing. Like, that was my first time performing that very song you heard.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you give us a line or two, right?
Yes. So that is it. Yes.
So when we talk about branding, I saw that you were in African wear from head to toe.
Yeah.
Like everything about you was purely African.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you?
Okay, I think it's high time we make sure that what we have is what we give out.
Okay.
You can't be what you are not. Sometimes I think this print you can see here is very beautiful, and it's making me look really amazing this morning.
I can see
I
that.
think that these are some of the things we have to tell people what we have, who we are, and what we actually represent. I think that is what becomes who we are to the people, and they accept us for who we are.
And that is your brand.
Yes.
So every time we see you're going to be in African print.
Yes, a lot of improvement, of course.
Okay, but why is it important to brand yourself as an artist? Why?
It is very, very important, because like I said, how you come, like the way you dress out, the way you carry yourself out really speaks of you and tell who you are automatically. Because when you see someone dressed with the pants hanging and stuff, you are actually going to mention something else, but maybe the person is decent inside, but what you bring out tells exactly what you are. Yes.
I see.
So dressing in my African print makes me so proud and happy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And so that makes it very unique for you. And that means you are who you are.
Yes.
And you are known for what you do best.
Yes.
So can you walk us through, an intentional way of you putting yourself together from your head to your toe? What do you wear? What do you put out there?
Okay.
Yeah, so that we can understand, how you put your brand together.
Okay. For me, like I said, I'm a natural person. Even my hair is a natural hair.
Okay.
We added you can see that just to fit And I love this color. Like orange color is
Orange
one
color.
of my favorite colors. So
Okay.
if you see me, mostly I love wearing orange colors. And with this print, it talks so much about who I am.
Okay.
I'm an African. I represent who I am. And also, like, I'm just a simple person. I don't really need to have that long time taking things or putting things together to dress up. I just take up what I have and I'm good to go.
And being African is not expensive, right?
No, it's not expensive. It makes you feel good to move in and out. And I can tell you that now people outside are using African fabrics to do fashion.
Okay.
And it's amazing how far our fabrics are going.
So let's take a line or two from that music you performed over there, and then we'll get to understand how this is contributing to the success of your music career.
Okay. So, like I said, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm proud and I'm so happy to be a Ghanaian. Yes. And I heard of the Black Star Experience, which is one of the visions of the president to make sure that people who are outside, our people and other investors can have access to come to the country and rebuild and make sure that the success of the country is the aim of the president actually. So with my song, which is Ghana Back to Ghana, is to promote what the intentions of the president to the world and even from the tourism. I think I want to give a shout out to the Minister of Tourism. She's doing so amazing. She's my inspiration actually. She has been a good inspiration to me. I saw her once at the Booty Falls and it's amazing.
It's amazing. So let's just take a line or two, an a cappella. Yeah, so that people can appreciate your voice better.
Okay, so the song goes like this. I am going back to Ghana, my beloved country. I am going back to Ghana, my beloved country. Where there is gold, where there is timber, Koko, diamonds, bauxite, and rich culture, heritage, evergreen forest stories, mountains, caves, lakes, waterfall. We are rich in soil, diverse clothing. So you see, you can also tell about that. I'm also talking about our clothing and our forest, how rich our land is. Yes, so that is...
You have a very powerful voice, I must say.
Thank you.
And it would sit well on a guitar tune, right?
Actually, I brought my guitar, but something just happened, so we couldn't play.
That's so sad.
Yes,
but how do you see your brand, contributing to the success of your music?
It's really contributes a lot because, like I said, most organizations would like to work with people who are natural.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then people who have this abilities like humbleness, they are on time, punctuality, which is very, very important to my brand.
Yeah.
And that's what I do actually. I love what I do. And with this African print, I know I'm going to do a lot of advert for companies who are interested in what I do and what I represent.
I see.
Yeah.
We've had the likes of Miss V, Natural Girl, Viala from up north representing Ghana. Everywhere they go, they put Ghana on the map. Yeah. But it looks like it's very challenging for some people to, stand up for who they are. And so they tend to, try to be like who they are not. What do you think are the challenges?
Yes, so many things. Putting in the team or management is one of the issues. Okay. Yes, when your management is not putting you at the right places at the right time, it can really cause people not to go to the extent of where they want to really be.
Oh, okay.
So I think that is one. And then I think when it comes to products, when I talk of products, how many people are willing to help your brand to go far. It also plays a vital role.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think these are some of the things that affect, and timing, punctuality and consistency.
Yeah.
Yes, you don't really have to make one song and you relax. You have to be punctual, you have to be time conscious. You also have to be choose your words very carefully.
Okay.
Because people are ready to attack you on
know,
every
right?
side.
I know, right?
So if you are not able to control yourself, where to answer, where not to answer, I mean, it's going to really bring you back to where you don't really want to be.
Touching on the issue of consistency, do you think you can hold on to this brand for a very long time?
For a very long time. For a very long time. Because naturally, this is who I am and I love what I am. Most of the time when you see me, people always say like, why do you always want to put on something like scarf and always trying to be a natural person? Yes, that is what makes me who I am and I'm really proud of that.
And have you had bad experiences when it comes that kind of relationship?
Not really. Sometimes it's just that things don't get to the way you want them to be, but I have not really had any experience yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't ask you from the beginning, how long have you been in the industry?
Okay, with the industry, I have been, like people will say, underground artist. It's been ages. It's been ages. But for some time now, my management was like, Charlie, we have to go to the other limits. So that is how come you saw us performing at that program.
Yeah. Someone would have said, I mean, who is going to listen to me? I'm shy. You know, my music might not be nice. You know, this is not the kind of music we want to hear. We want the one with, you know, beats so that we can jump to. But you stood out there and you did what you did.
Yeah.
But for me, I think one of the ways that artists do well is through collaborations.
Yeah.
Have you thought of that?
Yes, very, very. I have so much. I have so many songs that wish to have collaboration with some artists.
Like?
Yes. Oh, really?
Oh, you can mention they are watching. They are watching.
Yes. So many of them.
Or just mention a few so that they'll feel special.
Oh, really? So many, like I said, so many of them, and one of them will be Nuela.
Okay.
Yes, and I think that is it for now.
Just Nuela.
Yes, I don't want to really mention so many, but so many of them.
So listening to your songs, I mean, your tune is usually calm, relaxing, but someone like Nuela is very energetic.
Yes.
How do you see yourself matching up
It
to
is
her
very
energy?
possible. Sometimes you need to be calm, then you can reverse to the highest top. So it is always possible.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about social media. It has become a very, very powerful tool that a lot of people are leveraging on to promote their music. How do you go about it? How do you, put yourself out there through social media?
Yeah, social media is one of the places that everything you do stays there. Like it's very difficult for you to even erase it out of the minds of people.
Yeah.
So it carries a lot of weight. And now how social media is working, everyone from everywhere can have access to you without traveling far to meet you. So I think that is one of the platforms that should be used wisely. Yes, it should be used wisely, and you have to be very careful what you put out there, because at long run, people will use it against you.
So for you, what do you do there? Do you put your music there?
Yes, I put my music there.
Are you into content creation as well?
Not content creation per se, but I really go there. I also go on TikTok, actually, to have chat with my fans, to have conversations, talk about other stuff, I mean, about life. Yes, because people are there who really come there to seek information, how to sometimes live their lives, because, the world has become a place where people contemplate as to how do I live my life, my marriage, my school, maybe the school I want to go to, how do I get such information? So the social media is a place where people get information. So it's really important for some of the things you do there.
Yeah.
It's really, really important. Very.
And social media is also one place where a lot of people receive criticisms a lot. Like, you know, you get unknown accounts coming to attack you. Were there any instances where you faced that?
Okay, it happens a lot, but not on my side though.
You haven't faced
No,
any?
not really.
So far?
Yes,
Okay.
so far not. But I mean, sometimes you listen to what people say about others and you are like, how can you say this? And I don't know what is really going on. I think it's high time that people should really watch what they say because you don't know where you stand tomorrow.
I see. And so it is it is very, very interesting when it comes to conversations like this because, I mean, social media can either make you or unmake you, right?
Yeah.
And so you haven't received that, but in person, have you gotten to a point where someone said, nah, your outfit is not nice, you can't do this, I don't like your music, you look too raw? I mean, add some. That.
Okay. Not really yet, like I said.
And then people love
really, because, you know, before I come to the program you met me the last time, I went to a woman, I'm like, I want this very color. I want the color to be like this and that. And she was like, oh, I was having one, but you didn't come early. So the day after I finished with my performance, I passed by her place and she was like, really, I can't really recognize it. You look amazing. I always try to be myself because no matter what you do, people will always have something to say. So you have to tune up your mind that, no, I want to be who I am. And what people say, if it is positive, and you think that it doesn't really, like what they say, it's okay, you can use it in your life, you can. But if it doesn't really help in any way, you can just live your life and be who you are.
So we spoke about consistency the other time, like earlier, and go back to that because it is very hard for people who want to stay natural to, you know, thrive in this industry, right? And you are saying you are going to be doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, forever.
For a very long time. I don't know how you're going to go about it. Do you have plans, you know, strategies that you're going to adapt to help you remain relevant in the industry, or you're just going to be there, whatever happens, happens?
No, you know, life is a process. Life doesn't just start or end. Life is a process. Even when you have a kid, like a baby, it's a stage from class 1, class 2, class 3. So it's a stage where your management might look at the change in the generation and cause a change also in your life. You understand? So you cannot be at one place for like 1,000 years. You have to, as life moves, you make changes, but still be natural. Yes, which is really important. Still be who you are and be yourself.
So are you looking forward to making changes in your music career? I mean, you adopt rap or, you know, reggae?
Yes. I do all those.
You do reggae?
Yes, I do.
So do you have an album or, you know, a single?
I have a single, yes, reggae. Truly, truly, I tell you, yes.
Can we have a line or two?
Truly, 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 I tell you. Hey, truly, 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 I tell you. For these things you've seen, not everyone will be happy. Yeah. Truly, 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 I tell you. So yes, truly, truly, I tell you.
I'm melting. I mean, I can just imagine your voice, you know, going through all the instrumentation and all that.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very solid, right?
I love acoustic too because it's easy to play it everywhere and then it's easy to perform it everywhere as well.
Do you have music videos?
For now, we are working on it. Yes, we are working on a lot of them, and even with Ghana.
Okay.
Ghana is one of the biggest songs I can tell you that you will hear very soon.
Very, very soon.
Very soon.
And how do, underground artists get support when it comes to music videos and others? Because it's very, very, expensive.
Very, very expensive.
Yeah.
You have to do most of the things by yourself, and maybe people around you who believe in what you do. I've been singing from ages, like I said. When Tego Sisters and Mary Dugan and all stuff were singing, that time I was a little kid, and I was so much in love with what they do. I think that's where I started singing from, and singing at church as well. But it's really expensive to come out, like to stand out and for people to accept what you do. It's really, really difficult. Even family might tell you, Charlie, forget it, because this thing. No, I met a man who said, my son was into music, but I said, please stop, because I've spent so much and no support.
I know, right?
It's difficult, but it's determination. And you believe in what you do, that what you have is the biggest. If you believe in that, you will never give up.
I see. So what's your take on the recent music industry, like Ghana music industry? What's your take on it? Do you think it is doing well? It is not? It needs changes here and there. As an artist, what do you think about it?
Okay, there's so much to be done, and we are praying that there will be improvement on everything that has to do with Ghanaian music, because from ages, people who started with music like Mary Dugan, Tego Sisters, they did so well. I mean, they have been so much inspiration to my life, and I think we can do much better. We can do much better. But they are doing so well. I really, really say it without any fear or doubt.
Some people strive to be popular instead of, building a brand for themselves. So in your own, understanding, what would you say the difference is? Someone who wants to be popular and then someone who is building a brand for themselves, something like that.
Yeah, building a brand is really important. It's like frying fish and then you just keep it in a bowl. No, the final product makes it much interesting and attractive for people to actually like to have a taste of it.
Okay.
So if you brand your product very well, which is your talent, I mean, it's easy for you to travel. Like you can see, there are other products, I don't want to mention their names. Now they are all over outside even, and they are on shelves. They are being introduced to people to buy. So you have to keep you have to make sure that whatever you bring out, like, is the perfect one. You have to make it so perfect for people to have it. Because becoming popular it's really interesting. It's how long does it stay? Yes, for people to keep on having it. How are you improving in that taste? If it's a food, how are you improving for people to continue to purchase what you sell? So that is really, really important when it comes to branding.
Okay. But for you, when you were starting, out as a musician, did you ever think of branding, or you just naturally found its way? You just one day wore an African print and you felt, this is my brand, let me stay with it.
No, not really. Like I said, from where I come from, naturally, I've always seen my grandma with the African print, and she really loved it. And from there, I'm like, no, if this is what my grandma is, and it's nice, and she appears so nice in public, and she doesn't really look awkward or whatever it is, then this is what I want to be. So sometimes it's good to go back to the root.
Considering rebranding, because we've seen artists who started as natural and all that, and they realized they couldn't keep up, so we have to rebrand into maybe hip-hop or something. Do you see yourself rebranding?
As in the music?
No. Okay. I mean your brand itself.
Yes. It's really important. But you have to also make sure that whatever you bring out still you have the natural beauty and the natural outfit in it. Because you can see that now the African print is being so much like presented so much with different beads, and it's making the African prints very, very interesting to even go for. People are using it for their weddings, their parties.
Yeah.
Like, it's so huge now. Yes.
So if you weren't into music, you know, what kind of brand would you have, you know, gone for?
Okay.
No, I mean, in terms of branding.
Okay.
Would you have still stayed African?
Yes. But you have to know that even with our calabash, like, speaks so much of us.
Okay.
Yes, so many things. Our beats, you can see, say so many things. It makes your movements and your skin feel so great. Yes, so I really love what I do.
Right. Do you have any upcoming project, you know, as an artist? Yeah.
Yes, we have. But may God, may our people who passed on
Recently.
have peace wherever they are. And we pray for God's protection as to be in the bosom of God. So we also meet with them. Yes, so this incident has really shocked everyone and has really put a lot of programs on hold. So when we reschedule everything, we will let you know.
Once now there's no upcoming projects or anything. Okay, so do you have social media handles?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm on Facebook, Precious Jewel. I'm on TikTok, Precious Jewel. I'm on YouTube, Precious Jewel.
Do you have any advice for upcoming artists who are, you know, considering branding themselves? Any message to them?
Yeah, one of it is to be disciplined and to be consistent, to have a role model, and then be someone who research and be careful about the words you use in your music, because it carries weight. People who listen to heals from this music, and some people have bad results when listening to such music. So it's really important, the things you put out there, which we have to be really careful about that.
All right. Thank you so much. Precious Jewel is an Afro music artist, and she was our guest for today on the Lifestyle segment, where we try to understand how branding, you know, plays a role in our music careers. And I hope you have learned something. It was an interesting conversation with her. Please follow her on social media, Facebook, and also just Facebook, right? TikTok, yeah, at Precious Jewel, and you really, really like her music. Let's support her. She's one of our own, very local, very Ghanaian, very, you know, indigenous. And so, yes, thank you so much, Precious Jewel.
Thank you,
right? That's all we have for you on the lifestyle segment. Let's do a birthday celebration and then we'll be out.
I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday.
And you're welcome back. Now let's take our birthday celebrants. Okay, so this is from Beverlyn. A happy birthday to Kezia. Can't believe how far we've come since SHS. I still remember the laughter and little moments we shared back then. May this new year of your life bring you happiness, growth, and endless blessings. This is from Beverlyn to Kezia. Thank you so much. That's all we have for you on our birthday celebrations. And thank you for tuning in. We have more coming up your way. We have sports and business, and also our main discussion coming your way. Stay with us. I am Miriam Abna Adidi.
Latu Walasa.
To add all those test pots to like application to something like this. Yes.
Oh, that's quick.
That's crazy.
That was quick.
He's gonna be able to draw level. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Are you
This is how we do. M.I.
I'll be guiding you through this masterclass on corporate governance and financial planning, built for you, the workers, managers, entrepreneurs, and the everyday person. From pensions to personal finance, strategic planning to performance management, this series breaks it all down simply, powerfully, with expert insights, real stories, and practical tools. It's time to build wealth, plan, and lead a purpose-led life. Pepam say, building wealth, strengthening institutions, and empowering you. with the Clocksack Band.
Sing.
I don't wanna wait.
Hello, lovely viewers. Good morning and welcome to the Sports Update segment on your favorite morning show, the Koko Digest Morning Show. Over here, we bring you nothing but the best in the world of sports. We are covering all the action, both local and international. I am your host for today, Benedict Nketia Kwarting, and joining me today is my fellow brother from another mother, James Benate, CEO of Gerard Fitness. Welcome, James.
Thank you, Chama.
All right, now let's dive straight to the headlines. Osu Duku Festival Under 15 Tournament. Charles Sampson announces Black Princesses squad for Tunisia World Cup qualifier. Man banned from UK stadiums after racist abuse on Bournemouth's Semenyo. Now, James, let's go to the main story, the first of our stories, the Osuduku Festival, the Under 15 tournament. Yeah. As you were there, tell us, how did you go?
Okay, so it's an annual tournament that each and every year before Osu celebrates their Omowo festivals, they bring up this tournament to help the youth. So last year, Osu were the champions, but this year they decided to go with the youth side, which is the under 15, both the male and female. So the game was good, it went well. Both the ladies, the female side are youth 15, Osu won by penalties against Adabraka, and then the male to Osu won against Amanya on Saturday.
So Osu dominated the tournament.
Yeah, Osu dominated the tournament.
Okay, yeah. But then let me ask one very important question. Looking at the numbers that turn out for this tournament, you can tell that a lot of people showed up. One major question I'm asking, I keep wondering, is why do people turn up for such tournaments, but when it comes to our major leagues, the Premier Leagues, the turnout is quite small?
I feel when it comes to the Ghana Premier League, we are not doing enough when it comes to publicity. Because those times when we were very young, sometimes you hear at the back of your window, House of Folk will be playing today, House of Folk will be playing tomorrow. They go to the communities, they go down to the communities, they go down to the market to just do publicity ahead of the Ghana Premier League games. But this time we feel it is just social media is going to do the magic, and it's not helping. This game, for instance, each and every day you hear people talking about it. You get to 5 Junction, there is a car, there is this thing talking about the games that will be coming on. And one thing is also the fact that these players are closer to the supporters. So each and every time the supporters want to come and watch their guys and support them.
That's great. All right, thank you very much. And let's move on to the 2025, the Gbese Manche Home World Cup. That was Heart of Oak versus Heart of Lions. The Hearts in Accra, our favorite teams in Accra. How was the tournament? How was the competition in your view?
It was good. I mean, both teams are preparing towards the league, and they've been playing series of friendly matches, but I think this one was very, very good.
And then the forwards, as in the wingers and the strikers, we have Esther Owusu, Messia Tobra, Fadila Salifu, Mariam Ponsa, and then Sanai Srebo. Now, the squad that is coming up, I mean, we have some very good players. One Alexander Tay from Stanford University, from the USA. I've heard of her. I've seen some of her matches, some of her games, and you can tell that we have very promising footballers when it comes to the ladies' side. Just from the CAF competition that happened just recently, you can tell that we still have. If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to use we have the men, but then we have the women when it comes to football. Yes. So I think, in your opinion, what do you think is going to happen?
When it comes to qualifying to the World Cup, we don't have a problem with that when it comes to the U20, the ladies U20. The first time was in 2010, and after 2010, 2012, 2014, 2015, 2018, 2022 and 2024 we've qualified. Yes, but the problem is the fact that when we get to the main tournament,
the group stages, we
are always not able to qualify to the next stage of the competition. 7 times that we've always qualified to the U20 World Cup. All those 7 times we come out just from the group stages. So I think qualifying to the main tournament is not a problem for us, and I know the ladies who are going to do their job once again for us. So it's a good squad, and they played well when they played in the AFCON. So I think they are going to do well, qualify us to the World Cup. But the World Cup proper will be the problem again.
I don't think this is a problem. I think our ladies will do better
in the qualifying stage.
But then we want to urge them on.
Of course,
they should do their best, because just exiting from the group stages is quite a disgrace. I mean, yes, you are doing your best, but we know you can do better. We believe and trust in you, ladies. Let's move on to our international sports news. In the Premier League that has begun, it started last Friday. That was Liverpool facing Bournemouth, and it was there that we had this issue. That is, a man has been banned from UK stadiums after racist abuse on our very own Semenyo. It's quite unfortunate that in this 21st century we are still facing issues of racism when it comes to sports, when it comes to football. I thought football was the best field to get people of all races together, but then we still have some stubborn ones chanting out racism, chanting out racist comments to some of our black players and then black fielders. Do you think what do you think can be done? What do you think? Do you think the punishment of being banned from stadiums is the right way to go?
One thing is that when it comes to any sporting activity that bring unity to everyone, it's football. But then it's always very sad when people use the game that brings unity and go as far as using our colors to insult and do so many of things against us. I mean, Semenyo acted very professionally. Because Balotelli, it happened to Balotelli one time.
He would have reacted.
He would have reacted very seriously.
From the way he had the comment, that means the person was very close to him.
Yeah, so
I think he was throwing a throw in. He was about to throw a ball in.
So you could see this guy has been doing it. He started, but when Semenyo got closer to him, he had it very clear. Well. And kudos to Semenyo. He did very well. He acted professionally.
His composure.
Went to the referee, reported to the referee that this is the incident, and I think the referee did very well. He called the two managers whether they should stop the game or continue with the game. But Semenyo again told them, I mean, it's not they should continue.
He did very well.
He did very well.
No
wonder he got that goal.
Yes, he came to score. He came back to score 2 goals. It talks more about his mental ability. I mean, he's able to compose.
So we should learn. I mean, we should learn from these things. So banning him from the stadium is the right thing to do, but I think we should educate our supporters very well again.
Of course, it's going to teach the other supporters a big lesson. Thank you very much, James Benate. That is it for the sports update segment, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Benedict Nketia Kwating. Next is the business segment with Clement Yabankwe.
This is how we do. M-I-M-I, Devilish, aka
Aligning financial planning with ethical leadership is not just a necessity, but it's a strategy. That is why we bring you the Pepramse Corporate Governance and Financial Planning series, where smart financial planning meets ethical leadership. I am Dr. Kofi Anochie Osudako, your host for the series. I'll be guiding you through this masterclass on corporate governance and financial planning, built for you, the workers, managers, entrepreneurs, and the everyday person. From pensions to personal finance, strategic planning to performance management, this series breaks it all down simply, powerfully, with expert insights, real stories, and practical tools. It's time to build wealth, plan, and lead a purposeful life. Pepam say, building wealth, strengthening institutions, and empowering you.
To add all those test like application to something like this. Yes. Oh, okay. All right, that's quick. That's crazy. That was quick. He's going to be able to draw level. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Good morning, welcome to the Business Update segment. I am Clement Yaban Kwe, and today there are lots of questions that people are asking. Investors' appetite for Treasury bill is cooling, and yields are dropping. Confidence is shaking, and people are asking the question that is Treasury bill a good investment portfolio for now? People are asking the question that what should they consider if they want to invest in Treasury bill as we speak now? This and many more questions are the things we are going to answer this very morning on the Business Update segment. And I know you don't want to miss this discussion because it's going to be very educative and very interactive. Just call a friend and just text a friend that we are back on your screen with another discussion about investment. We're also streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, also at Clock TV GH. Just go, if you are in a car or going to the office on your way, just go to our social media platforms and join this discussion. I have with me in studio Mr. Nelson Kujo Kwabwaji, who happens to be the head of finance for Meban Capital, who is going to break down all matters of Treasury bill to ask for us to understand to the simplest term. Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
We are always grateful to have you in studio.
Thank you.
Yesterday, when the social media people of Clock TV started flying this flyer about the investment portfolio, the comments we were getting is all about, I've heard of Treasury bill, but what is all about Treasury bill? Okay. We've been hearing it every day in the news outline, but how do I even get to invest in it? So I want you to take us through what is all about Treasury bill.
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning to you, and good morning to our cherished viewers and listeners. Now, Treasury bills are just short-term loans that the government borrowed from investors through the Bank of Ghana. You know, at the beginning of the year, the government presents budget. And in that budget, government intends to raise a certain amount of tax revenue. Government cannot wait for, let's say, June, July, August, September before the tax revenue starts coming in volume. And so government has to resort to borrowing as one of its financing mechanism to finance the annual budget. And so Treasury bills, in a more simplest term, is just a loan that the government takes from investors. So those investors can either be you, it can be me, it can be banks, it can be insurance companies, it can be anybody who is having money can lend that money to the government. So a Treasury bill is a short-term debt security that the government raises through the Bank of Ghana for the purposes of financing the annual budget or maybe for financing maturing obligations. So in its simplest term, that is what treasury bills are. And treasury bills are only issued by government.
Okay.
They are not issued by any company or individuals. And so company A cannot say, I am going into the Ghana fixed income market to go and raise treasury bill. No, it is only raised by government or states across the globe.
Okay. I think in Turkey, you made mention that governments borrow. Someone will ask, after me, the money I have is just 200 cedis. How can government take this 200 cedis or 500 cedis, and what will they add up to the developmental projects they want to carry on? So how would someone who has just 100 cedis, 200 cedis, invest or get access to the treasury bill?
Okay, I think there is a minimum amount that you can invest. There is a minimum amount that you can invest in treasury bill. And so maybe from 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, you can get a treasury bill. But it is always advisable that when you want to invest in treasury bill, at least the fund that you are investing should be a bit, maybe from 5,000 going. I mean, it's fine. Yes.
Sake of the returns.
Yes, because the higher the value, the more the returns.
Okay. Okay. So what should one consider before I invest in treasury bill? What should I look out for?
All right. So as I said, the treasury bill as a financial instrument is actually traded in the market. And that market is what you call money market.
Okay.
But before I answer your question, I want to distinguish, for the purposes of education, treasury bills from bonds.
Okay.
Treasury bills and bonds, they are all fixed income securities. When I say fixed income securities, when you buy the bonds today or you buy the treasury bill today, you know how much you are going to earn at the end of your tenure. And so when you buy a treasury bill for 3 months, you will know in advance how much you earn at the end of the 3 months on top of the capital that you invested.
Okay.
The basic difference between bonds and treasury bill is that treasury bills, we buy them or we trade them in a short-term market. So you hear people say money market, money market. Money market is the short-term market, which is up.
Okay.
Reason why you have the 3 months treasury bill, which is the 91-day treasury bill. You have the 6-month treasury bill, which is the 182-day treasury bill. And you have the 364-day treasury bill, which is the 1-year treasury bill. So anything that goes beyond 1 year, we call them notes.
Okay.
We call them notes. Now, bonds are long-term investments. Okay. So the difference between the treasury bill, the functioning of a treasury bill, the mechanics, the function of a treasury bill, and that of bonds are the same. The only difference is the tenor. Bonds goes beyond 1 year, whilst treasury bill is just within a year. The reason why we say they are money market, they are short-term, financial market. Now, coming back to your question, if one wants to buy treasury bill, what are the factors that the person must take into consideration?
Yeah.
Now, in my opinion, when you want to buy treasury bill, there are generally 3 factors you must take into consideration.
Okay.
The first one is the yields that you will be getting on the investment. When I say yields, I mean the returns that you'll be getting. The second factor you need to take into consideration is inflation. Okay. And then the third factor you need to take into consideration is your liquidity needs. Now, as you rightly said, the rate in the treasury bill market, they are coming down. In fact, per what I sent you yesterday, realized that it actually dropped from about 28%. I mean, the interest dropped from 28% in January, and currently is just a little over 10%.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means that the returns is what is going to incentivize or be appetizing to me to invest in treasury bills. So you need to take into consideration the rate.
Okay.
So let's say you are investing, let's say 100,000 for 6 months at the rate of 10%. It means that at the end of the 6 months, you'll be getting 5% on the 100,000.
Okay.
You get it.
Yeah.
So the returns is very key. So you don't just go and buy. You must look at how much I am going to earn or the returns I'm going to generate on that investment. Then the second factor you also take into consideration is inflation. Okay. Now, when inflation is higher than the rate that you'll be getting at the end of maturity, then it means that you haven't gotten anything at all. So we say negative returns.
Okay.
So imagine currently, inflation is at 12.1% as at the end of July. But Treasury bill is trading, the 91-day is trading at 10.2%, which is below inflation.
Okay.
You also realize that the 182-day Treasury bill is also trading below, inflation, which means that currently, when you buy a Treasury bill for 91-day, 182-day, it means that inflation has eroded all the gains that you have made. But when you do the 364, I think that one is a little above inflation. And so that one you may make some little gain.
Okay.
But I mean, generally, these are the factors you take into consideration when you want to do any investment. The first one is the returns. The second one is inflation. And then the third one is your liquidity needs. Of course, you also take some other factors like risk. As we said, government securities, for instance, treasury bills and bonds, they are risk-free. But we have seen what happens recently in the past when there was a domestic debt. Exactly. Which means that when you buy government bonds today, you cannot claim they are risk-free. But because treasury bills were not affected, we can conclusively say that, okay, treasury bills are risk-free.
Okay, thank you very much. I think now let's look at the trends. You rightly mentioned them. That is the shift in trends over, especially from January to now. And I think you sent some kind of graphics to support this discussion. I believe the producer will just show it on the screen. We want to look at why is the yields dropping? Why are we having that kind of trend where interest rates as at January was around 28%, but currently it's around, as you are saying, 10 point, slightly above 10%. Why is this situation happening? So as you could see on the screen, that is the trend in 91-day Treasury bill. Why is it happening like this?
All right, so there are so many factors that may account for the drop in the rates of Treasury bill. The first one, of course, is demand and supply, because the Treasury bill is being traded in the market. Fundamentals of economics will tell you the law of demand and supply. So the demand and supply is one of the factors accounting for the drop in the rate.
Okay.
Then the second factor is government financing needs, or let me say government fiscal policy. Now, over the years, we have seen that government has borrowed to the extent that our debt became unsustainable. That was what we witnessed in the past. But the tone of this government clearly shows that they are not interested in borrowing too much. And so investors will bring their bids, but government will say, okay, the total bids for this week is 10 billion Ghana cedis, but I need only 2 billion Ghana cedis. So that may also affect the drop in the rate, because if government doesn't need 10 billion Ghana cedis, government will technically reduce the price and say, this is the price at which I can buy, or I can offer you. So these are the two major factors that are accounting for the reduction in the rate of Treasury bill. The first one is demand and supply, and then secondly, financing needs of government. And in fact, the finance minister actually said it during the mid-year budget review that the rates will continue to drop further.
The rates will continue to drop further. So do you think this is the reason why investors are shifting away from investing in Treasury bill? Because looking at the third consecutive time, government is unable to meet its target in terms of Treasury bill. Could this be one of the reasons?
All right. Every investor wants to place their money at where they will get returns. I mean, if inflation is at 12.1% and you are investing in Treasury bill at 10.2%, clearly, I mean, there is no return on your investment. So one of the fundamental reasons why people are moving away from the market is just because of the rate. And so they are now looking for other important or other investment, vehicles where they can place their funds in. So the rate is actually accounting for the under subscription.
Okay. Okay.
So when your producer can show the last table, you realize that we had over subscription for some time. Then all of a sudden, so from January to July, you realize that the market is actually a mix. So you realize that on the 21st of July, government, the target for the week the amount government wanted to raise, as the target was just 5.4 billion Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
But the bids that were submitted was 20 billion Ghana cedis. Government said, okay, I need 5 billion Ghana cedis, but you are giving me 20 billion Ghana cedis. Let me meet you halfway. So I'll take 10.6 billion Ghana cedis. And so we had an oversubscription of well over 285%.
Yeah.
Then the following week, government intended to raise 7.7 billion. The bids that were submitted, as in all those who wanted to buy treasury bill, the money that they sent was about 28 billion. Government accepted 15 billion, giving us an oversubscription of 264%. Then down to 11th of August, government intended to raise 8 billion.
Yeah.
But investors are saying no, the rate in the market is not interesting. So investors submitted only 6.8 billion, and government accepted about 6.6 billion, giving us about 20% under subscription.
Okay.
And then if you look at the last one, that was just last week, we had an under subscription to the tune of about 29%. So the rates in the market is actually accounting for the under subscription. Exactly.
Okay. So what we are seeing on the screen tells government? Because if government is unable to meet its targets from the treasury bill, what is the other alternative?
All right. So that has always been the question. And so normally government uses treasury bill to finance maturing obligation across all maturities. What I mean by that is that every week there are maturities. People's treasury bill are getting matured, or the date is due. Government needs to pay them. So government actually uses the treasury bill market as a refinancing market.
Okay.
So your money has matured, so government will borrow from me to pay you. So when you have also invested again and your maturity has come, so clearly what is going to happen is that government has to try as much as possible to meet investors halfway. Because once investors are moving away from the treasury bill market and government is recording under subscription, it means that government has to resort to other means of filling that gap. Because if you look at that table, the government intended there was an under subscription to the tune of 29 billion Ghana cedis.
Yes, I think it's going to be back. The producers will show it again.
Which means that so government wanted to raise 4.2 billion. That was the maturities that government needs to pay that way. But investors submitted only 3 billion Ghana cedis, which means there was a shortfall by 29%. But people's money needs to be paid. People's money, because there was maturity on that day. So it means that government has to look for other sources to actually close the financing gap.
So if government is looking for other sources, what other avenues are available?
We may not know. Maybe they can go to the consolidated fund. The tax revenue is there. So, I mean, there are so many mechanisms that goes into it. Because when you are having maturity of 4.2 billion that you need to pay, and that was what you wanted to raise that week, if you are not able to raise that money, you can't go and tell the investor that, Charlie, I went to the market, but the investor didn't bring. You can't.
Exactly.
You understand? You have to find a way of, trying to pay them by closing by raising the rest of the money from the other sources of financing.
So looking at what is playing out there in the market, would you advise investors to still stay in a treasury investment portfolio, or they should look elsewhere?
Well, I mean, the investors cannot entirely move away from the treasury bill market. This is because the treasury bill market itself is a liquidity management market for institutional investors.
Okay.
For instance, pension funds. For instance, banks and insurance companies. When you go to pension funds, every day people are taking money, people are withdrawing money when they go on pension. Even the tier 3 scheme, people still take it even before the 10 years, that was the mandatory years to take it without the tax. People take it. Then when you go to the banks, people come to withdraw money on daily basis. But you cannot keep those monies in your office. You need to place them in a short-term instrument so that as then you just go and take it. So for the treasury bill market, investors will still continue to go there, especially the institutional investors. Banks, insurance companies, private equity firms, and pension funds, they will still continue to go there. However, they may not offload the chunk of their traffic. When I mean traffic, their fund into that market. Because at the end of the day, they're also in business. They want to make profit. So maybe they will give something small to Treasury bill, and they may also look for other sources of investment.
Okay. Thank you so much for this education. We would like to move into, if someone assuming want to invest 5,000 Ghana cedis, as it stands now, looking at how the interest rate and the discount rate is playing out, we want to find out how will the person get, or at maturity, what is going to be the face value at maturity. So that viewers watching who want to invest, assuming 5,000 Ghana cedis in Treasury bill, will know that, okay, at the end of the 91-day bill or 182-day bill, this is what I'm going to get.
Sure. So the slide that I sent to you earlier,
okay, that was the last but one.
Yeah, the last but one clearly demonstrates what what exactly. So when you look at this, table, imagine an investor is investing on an investment date of August 19.
Okay.
And the cost of the investment is 5,000. The investor decides that, okay, I want to do only 91-day Treasury bill.
Okay.
Now, currently, the 91-day Treasury bill is at 10.14%, which means that the effective interest rate is 2.53%. Now, in banks or financial institutions...
Please, come again. Take that point again.
Okay. So in banks or financial institutions, rates that are quoted are generally annual rates. They are annual.
So the 10.14% we see is for 91-day Treasury bill
is annual. Yes. It doesn't mean that in 3 months' time you'll be getting 10.14. No. So you need to divide the 10.14 by 4.
By 4. Okay.
You get it. But there are 4 semesters in a year. So you need to divide it by 4. So that will give us an effective interest rate of 2.53.
So after investing 5,000 Ghana cedis, I'll be getting interest rates of 2.53
for 3 months, for 91 days.
Okay.
So at maturity, your interest will be 126 Ghana cedis, 72 pesos. The reason why I was telling you earlier that if you really want to enjoy in the money market, you need to have, value. Okay. So it means that the maturity, because it's 3 months, the investment was on 19th of August. It will mature on the 18th of November 2025.
Yeah.
So when it matures, you expect 5,126.72 Ghana cedis to hit your account on the 18th of November. Now, when you look at the 182-day Treasury bill too, we invested 5,000. The tenor is 182, which is 6 months.
Okay.
Now, the effective interest rate is 6.12 because we need to divide the 12.23 by 2. Okay. So at the end of the day, your total interest that you earn at the end of the 6 months will be 305 Ghana cedis, 76 pesos.
Yeah.
So this is how it is calculated.
Wow.
This is how it is calculated. So when you look at the 364-day Treasury bill too, when you invest 5,000 at the rate of 13.09, you'll be getting about 5,654, Ghana cedis on the 18th of August.
So as you said earlier, if I invest 5,000 for 91-day bill, getting 2.5%, which is far below inflation.
Yes.
As we speak now.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, after 3 months,
it means your gain is your purchasing power as a result of this investment, or your return is actually eroded.
Okay. We've also heard of what we call the discount rate.
So that one is when you are having you can sell. These are instruments that are traded. They are traded they are traded in the market, the money market. So when you are having investment and you want to discount it, you discount it at that rate.
Okay. So to me, when I'm going to buy a Treasury bill, the discount rate does not apply to me.
It doesn't apply. You are fixated on what you earn on maturity.
Okay.
The interest you get on maturity.
So I'm going to pay all the 5,000. It's not going to be discounted.
No, or the 5,000. That's the cost. And upon maturity, you get the what you call the face value or the interest plus the capital or the cost that you have invested.
That is so interesting and so amazing when it gets to the treasury bill markets, how things are being played out this very morning. But on this very issue that we have on the screen, we would like to find out that, is there any other avenue?
Yes.
You think investors could look at?
Yes. So we have other sources of investment or investment vehicles that you can place your money on. In fact, if you are not interested in the money market, you can go to the bonds market. So the bonds, as I did indicate earlier, they are long tenor dated instruments. You can also look at the equities market, the Ghana Stock Exchange. In fact, the Ghana Stock Exchange has returned more than 50% this year alone. So we have so many companies that are listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. You just walk to your stockbroker, and then you can place order for investment or buying shares or stocks on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Another area that an investor may look at is the corporate bonds. We did indicate earlier that treasury bills are raised by only government. We also said that government can equally raise bonds. And so companies or corporations can also raise what you call corporate bonds. In fact, we have a few number of them that are currently on the Ghana fixed income market. So corporate bond is also another alternative source of investment. Then you can also look at mutual funds. There are a lot of mutual funds that are currently doing very well. In fact, when you come to Meban Capital, we have what you call balanced fund. It's a mutual fund where he brings money, somebody also brings money, somebody brings money, we put it together, then we go to the market and invest it on behalf of investors. So you can also invest in mutual funds. Then there are also companies that are into real estate income trust. You can also invest, in those investment vehicles. But the bottom line is that whichever investment that you are doing, you must take into consideration the risk and also the returns that you'll be generating on those investments.
The risk and the return that will be generating on that investment. Earlier in your submission, you made mention of what we call the liquidity needs in terms of investment, and especially in treasury bill. There's a question which says that, can I request for what I've invested in treasury bill before maturity? Is it possible? As been after investing 5,000, I realize that, I need money to do one or two things before the 91-day bills end. Is it possible?
That is where the discounting comes in, and so you can sell it. The reason why from the beginning I was using the word traded in the market. When you are trading, you either buy or you sell. So when you are having the 5,000 cedis for 182 days, and the investment has run for, let's say, 3 or 4 months, and you need money urgently, you can easily sell it and then you get your money. Reason why I said it's a liquidity management market. So if you have money, you don't really need it now, but you may need it within the shortest possible time. You can't keep it in your current account at the bank. Because current account, they would rather be charging you a COT. And so you rather have to put it in treasury bill for a short dated investment, 182 and 91 days, 182 days. But when you think you need money along the lifespan of the investment, you can easily sell it and get your money back.
That is so amazing. Before we just end this conversation, there's this question that is really coming up a lot in the discussion. That is the aspect of government role in terms of treasury. As you made it so clear that it is an avenue that government raise money in a short possible term. And here's the case that the target of government keeps on dropping, and inflation still stands around 12%. Do you think government is supposed to put in measures for inflation to come to a single digit, whereby people who invest in treasury bill will have the value for their money?
All right. So government inflation target for 2025 fiscal year is 11.9%. Currently, we are at 12.1%. And disinflationary pressures are expected to continue. And so going forward, we expect inflation to continue going down. And so we may end up hitting single-digit inflation before the end of the year. Now, when we hit single-digit inflation before the end of the year, it means that treasury bill rate will continue to also go down. Yeah, that is what is going to happen. And so you must always make sure that the treasury bill rate, they are below, they are above inflation. And so once treasury bill rates are coming down, it means that inflation will also go down in the same way. In fact, government position is to hit single digit by end of the year. The finance minister made mention that the rate will continue to go down. And so when the rate continues to go down, we expect inflation to also go down further.
Would you equally expect monetary policy rate to go down?
Yes, that is the expectation. Monetary policy rate is just a tool that Bank of Ghana uses to manage price stability. And so to the extent that inflation is coming down, we expect the monetary policy rate to also come down in that same wavelength.
Okay, thank you very much. But before you go, there was this question that says, last time over here we were discussing about the monetary policy rate and the lending rate that currently we have. Has it dropped in the market? Has lending rate dropped?
Okay, so the Ghana reference rate, which is the base rate for fixing lending rate, has dropped to about a little over 19%. And so when the GRR or the Ghana reference rate drops, you don't expect the banks automatically to also drop. It will take a bit of time before they will adjust their lending rate. Don't forget that the banks, they have mobilized deposit already. They have mobilized deposit in various forms. In fact, fixed deposit. They are going to charge an interest on fixed deposit for those who place the money. And so when they reduce the interest rate all of a sudden, they will be paying a higher interest rate on fixed deposit. So the banks will take some time before rebalancing their rate. But we expect it to go down before the end of the year.
Okay, thank you very much. We expect it to go down before the end of the year. But before you go, what's your last words to viewers who are watching and who want to take up any investment portfolio?
Well, I will encourage them that before you make any investment decision, you must seek expert advice from those who are actually players within the industry. They must also take into consideration the risk, the returns, and their liquidity needs before they make those investment decisions.
Thank you so much. So before you take any investment portfolio, seek the advice of the experts in the industry. Also put into consideration risks involved. Also look at the returns and look at the liquidity risks also as well. This has been the discussion about investor confidence in Treasury bill, because we've realized that Treasury bill rates keeps on dropping, and government targets to raise this short-term financing is also dropping drastically. And this is the main reason why we have such conversation on the business update segment this very morning. Thank you so much for staying with us, and I am Clement Yabankwe, and thank you so much to our guest, Mr. Nelson Kujo-Kwaboji, the head of finance for Meban Capital, for gracing this discussion. Don't go anywhere, just stay right here with us, because after this commercial break, we'll have amazing content for you.
This is how we do. M-I-M-I, Divalish, a.k.a. You know the name?
Ghana music has really been put in, you know,
True. We're going to be talking about the impact of Galamsey on our natural resources. And I have two guests for today. And the very first guest will be joining us via phone in. And his name is Darrell Bosu. He's an environmentalist and the Deputy National Director at AROCA Ghana. Then we have another guest who is here with us in the studio. He is Engineer Michael Sando Ali. He is the Director Mining at EPA. Now, a quick profile on Mr. Darrell. That is, okay. Yes, Mr. Darrell Bosu. And it says here, he simply epitomizes the person described as passionate about conservation and advocate for nature. And he is currently finalizing an MPhil in natural resource management. Darrell is one of the longest serving staff of AROCA Ghana and the first field manager for our first field office in Damongo in the northern region of Ghana, where he contributed to the development of our first community natural resource management project around Mole National Park. So that is a brief profile of Mr. Darrell Bosu, who will be joining us via phone. Now, before we get into the conversation, a quick summary of today's conversation. So the Environmental Protection Agency of Ghana plays a crucial role in managing the environmental impacts of small-scale mining, particularly in the context of Galamsey or illegal mining activities. As small-scale mining operates often without proper oversight, the EPA faces significant challenges in balancing economic development with environmental protection. Small-scale mining has the potential to provide livelihoods for many, but it also poses serious risks to the ecosystem, water quality, and of course, public health. Now, the use of hazardous chemicals such as mercury and unsustainable extraction practices lead to soil degradation, deforestation, and water pollution. These environmental consequences can have long-term impacts, threatening biodiversity and the health of communities reliant on natural resources. The EPA's responsibilities include enforcing regulations that govern mining activities, conducting environmental assessments, and ensuring compliance with environmental standards. However, the effectiveness of these efforts is often undermined by limited resources, inadequate enforcement mechanisms, and widespread illegal mining practices. And strengthening the EPA's capacity to regulate small-scale mining is essential for achieving sustainable resource management. To enhance the EPA's effectiveness, a multifaceted approach is very necessary, and this includes increasing funding for environmental monitoring, improving collaboration with local communities, and fostering partnerships with other governmental and non-governmental organizations. The implementing education and awareness programs about environmental impacts of mining can empower communities to advocate for sustainable practices. Moreover, promoting legal avenues for small-scale mining can help mitigate the negative effects associated with illegal operations. By providing support for responsible mining practices, the EPA can facilitate a transition towards sustainable mining that protects the environment while supporting local economies. In conclusion, the EPA's role in regulating small-scale mining is vital for protecting Ghana's environmental resources, and also by strengthening regulatory frameworks, enhancing capacity, and promoting sustainable practices, the EPA can help ensure that mining activities contribute positively to the economy without compromising the health of ecosystems and communities. Now, we have Engineer Michael Sando Ali here in the studio with us, and we'll be discussing, the role of the EPA into more details about, concerning mining as we've read. And so, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And we would like to say thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, and thank you for this honor. And I want to also greet all the cherished listeners and viewers of GLOSAC TV. And I just want to put it that we are now an authority. We are no longer an agency.
Agency. Oh, yes, authority. Sorry. I will keep that in mind. So,
Okay.
You are the director for mining at the Environmental Protection Authority. Can you tell us a little bit about what that entails?
You know, the Environmental Protection Authority, as defined by the recently passed Act, that is Environmental Protection Act 2025, Act 1124. So to give us a mandate and to crystallize the thing in 4 stages, in terms of 4 objects, to regulate, promote, protect, and then have oversight over everything that has got to do with our natural resources and even the climate change.
Okay.
So this is the brief of us being an authority, and it has expanded our scope of work.
Okay. So the mining aspect, what exactly does that entail? Are you the ones who, liaise with the Blue Water Guard and the others?
Okay. There are various agencies and bodies that regulate mining. It's not only in the EPA. We have the Minerals Commission. They are the promoters of the minerals. And under them, they have a body that is also regulating, that is the Inspector Division of the Minerals Commission.
Right.
And so the Minerals Commission by itself would give out concessions to people who want to do mining in various locations, large scale, medium scale, or small scale.
Right.
And so they would do that. And then we would do the environmental assessment. I mean, not us, we would liaise with people to do the ones to do mining.
Okay.
And then issue an environmental permit for you to mine with conditions.
Right.
Whether it is large scale, whether it is small scale.
Okay.
So, and then there are other bodies. Water Resources Commission, they are regulating our water bodies. And so they would also issue what we call the water rights permits.
Yeah.
And it depends. If it's in the forest reserve, then the Forest Commission and the Forest Service Division also play a role.
Okay.
So there are various agencies.
Okay. So hitting the nail right on the head, how has Galamsey specifically affected our rivers, forests, and biodiversity? So let's start with the rivers, then we go to forest, and then the biodiversity.
Yes. Galamsey, I would normally say, it's like armed robbery. Nobody entertains armed robbery of any sort, whether it is because there is no employment or whatever. Whether there is no employment or whatever, you have no justification to say because of that I want to do armed robbery. So I'll equate illegal mining, or what we shorten for Galamsey, as robbing the state of its resources, because the Constitution states that the mineral resources are vested in the president on behalf of the citizens of Ghana.
Yeah.
And so any resource that you find on your land doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the state. And so the state has the right to give it to somebody to mine, if not you.
Okay, so...
Now, the other thing, you are talking about illegal mining. And illegal mining, we at the agency we can only educate, but we don't have arms to go against after. You see what happened with the police and the illegal miners? He said there was an exchange of fire, even with the police. So sometimes we only do education when we get it's even at the risk of our lives. But we need to, as citizens of Ghana, when we get and we try to educate them that, look, what you are doing is not right. Stop it.
Okay, so yes, back to the effect. With the rivers, the water bodies, yes, forests and biodiversity.
I'll start from water bodies.
Okay.
Nobody, there is no law that gives anybody the chance to mine in any water body. Nobody is supposed to mine in any water body. It's illegal. And so if you are found on the water body mining outrightly...
Laws and bills about mining the forest being allowed in a way. Can you touch on that a little?
Yes. As a country, I will tell you that the bauxite started mining since 1945 by Ghana Bauxite Company. It's mined in the Afio Forest Reserve in the Western North region. And that was legalized mining to mine bauxite And that was from Nkrumah's era coming, before even Nkrumah became the president.
Yeah.
So that forest was given out for bauxite mining. And incidentally, all our bauxite and forest reserves, our bauxite reserves are all on forest reserves. And most of our minerals are even on forest reserves. I don't know why the colonial masters did that. And so when you come to mining, and in the 90s, a lot of exploration had taken place in most of our reserves for gold. And I remember that in 1996-97, the late President Rawlings, through the minister that was responsible for mines, put a moratorium that nobody should go into the forest and do exploration any longer.
Okay.
But out of the 30 companies, 17 had advanced to a certain stage that one of them had even invested $80 million in exploration. And so in 1997, there was a call that, okay, the 17 companies that have advanced can go back and do exploration, and let's see those that will find mineral reserves in economic quantities that can mine dearly. Okay. And so out of the 17, 5 had advanced and got into the feasibility stage.
Okay.
And so when President Kufuor took over in 2001, we were faced as a country, what do we do? Are we going to pay judgment debt for allowing these people to do exploration, and that one company had sunk in as much as $18 million as at that time? Or what do we do? And so President Kufuor put up a 5-member ministerial committee to fly over all these forest reserves. And apparently they were what we call production forest reserves. They are reserves that they cut timber. There are farms on it. And so they are not the pristine reserves. So the economic, there was a economic benefit, the cost benefit analysis was done. And based on that, we needed to mine for the 5 companies especially that had gotten their mining leases. And so as a country, what do? We didn't have the guidelines for mining in forest reserves. We had the guidelines for mining off reserve, but not for forest reserves. And so we had to travel to other jurisdictions where mining is done in the forest reserves, like Brazil, Richards Bay in South Africa, Australia region. So they have south and have north mines.
Okay.
So they've sold this out to the Chinese.
Right.
And so strictly by the guidelines, they were mining and doing everything right. But subsequently, more companies were giving exploratory licenses to mine the forest reserves. But let me put this on record that small-scale mining of any sort is not allowed in the forest reserve. Most of the ones we find are illegal.
Okay.
They are mostly illegal.
All right, but it seems that there was also this artisanal small-scale mining that was encouraged some years back. Where does that one, what jurisdiction does that one fall?
Yeah. I will take you back to history. In 1470 or something, the Portuguese landed in Ghana. And you know why Elimina is called Elimina? Elimina in Portuguese means le mine.
Oh, okay.
The mine.
Mines. Okay.
And because of the corruption, we say Elimina.
Yeah. Okay.
But you see, but when the colonial masters came, they outlawed it. And so it went underground.
Okay.
It went underground. And they were doing it. But what happened was that the proceeds were not accounted for as it's been done now. Because they were smuggling the gold and selling to the neighboring countries.
Yeah.
So in 1989, I think President Rawlings then said, look, we can't be losing. It is our resource.
Yeah.
Why do we let the people do it illegally and then sell it to other countries and we don't benefit in it out of that? So the small-scale mining, the PNDC law 189 for 218 for allowing mining in small-scale mining to come into being. And so that is how it came up. And the illegal miners.
Yeah.
Because if I take my family land, go and measure 25 acres, send it to the Minerals Commission, they put it on their cadastral map. It is not encumbered. Then they give it to me as a lease or a mining license to go and do small-scale mining. I don't know what gold is there. When I dig here, and I don't find the gold. Meanwhile, the gold is at this side, and the people are digging. I'll go and join them and dig. Because I've paid money, Godman documents, and where I'm digging, there is nothing. Meanwhile, just next door is where the gold is, and the people are digging, they have not paid anything. So I'll go enjoy it. So I normally tell the security people that when you go and a person throws a permit, that I have this permit, check the coordinates to know where he's working. Is it where he has been given? And that is the crux of the matter with respect to the illegal mining. We need to do extensive exploration, delineate where the ore body is, and say, okay, Yaira mines, small scale mining, this is where the gold is. So go and mine it. So you go and that is how the large scale do. They target. They can spend 10, 15 years doing exploration just to get where the gold is. And so when they go, they know where to mine. They don't.
The other guest, he also mentioned we read online like a story that the Youth in Mining initiative was also introduced somewhere in 2012, if I stand to be corrected. How has that also contributed to the problem we have at hand?
Is it youth in mining? I don't know, but you see, these are all enshrined in the law. The law says that small scale miners, you can either be a group, you could be a cooperative, or you could be in a community form. Yeah. So these are not new things. They are already there in the law. Okay. Only that maybe for emphasis. You know, the previous government talked about community mining. Current government is talking about cooperatives. And all these are enshrined in the law. Only that the way we want to go is what, and so we should look at it and make sure that it is done in the right way. The concessions are given to the people who are the legislative side. And so we normally arrest the boys. Yes. The kingpins are the ones we should be dealing with.
I keep saying this.
The kingpins, those who are sitting in Accra and sponsor, because the small guy in the village cannot rent an excavator. Yeah. Excavator, to fuel excavator is about 1 drum of diesel. How much does that cost? And the cost of the excavator per day. And then you have it on the mine field for 30 or more than 30 days. That is huge. Yeah. And so if we go and arrest the guys in the pit, we are doing nothing. Yeah. It is the people who sponsor that we should be holding accountable. That then we can leave the thing in the bar, because if they don't send the thing, the guys cannot do the work.
Yeah. So is it also possible that the political parties that campaign also tend to sometimes use the aspect of mining as a form of employment as a way to gain votes? That is why it's also called...
Do it, take it, and then the nation doesn't benefit. So then we'll find a way and get it to the right people, and then the nation can benefit.
So then how exactly can we, allow the small-scale mining in a sustainable way?
Yes, and that is one of the key things we normally talk about. The exploration. Who will do it? And delineate the ore body, said that when Yaira Mining Enterprise is coming, they will say that this is where the gold is. So go, and you know that you are mining, and then this is the place. So you don't degrade every part of the environment. Okay. When you go to the large scale mines, because they have done exploration, they know where the ore body is. They will know where to put every kind of infrastructure on the mine. And so they don't just destroy everywhere. Okay. But the problem is, because there is lack of exploration within the small-scale mining space, then we are tempted to do all these 2x4 way of mining, I'll call it. Let me put it that way.
Right.
But so when the small-scale miners are coming, they just fall in, and everything is handled in a neat way. And I can just give you an example within the manufacturing sector. You heard about the Free Zones Enclave. The Free Zones Enclave was demarcated. They did a strategic environmental assessment. Then the various industries just come and fit it. And they are flowing very well. So similar can be done for the small-scale mining sector. If we delineate the ore bodies and we know that this is the quantity of gold, when my mining company goes in there, I'm going to mine for this number of years. And this is what the large scale does. Okay. But that is lacking within the small-scale mining space. Because it is a plot I just go and pick. Whether there is gold in there or not, I don't know.
So
I don't know how much gold is
there. The people who give the concessions to, there needs to be a reform there.
Definitely. Right. I mean, we are working together. So that is why I'm saying that they need to do the exploration, and then the data will be fair to them. They know that when I plot this map, I know that this is where the gold is, And so when you are coming and we are giving to you, we can even quantify the gold there.
Yeah.
It may not be accurate, but at least. And that is how the large scale does.
Right. Okay, so we have Mr. Darrell Bosu. He is an environmentalist and the Deputy National Director at Eroka, Ghana, on the phone. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you as well, and also good. Yes, thank you very much. Even though I greeted the panelists, let me also especially greet Engineer Sando. He's a good friend, so I'm really happy that he's also on this discussion. I think his voice almost gave him away, but I'm happy that he's on. But I mean, talking about Galamsey, I think one thing we all need to understand about Galamsey is the fact that Galamsey, as it is, and as we are seeing it in Ghana, is a creature of the political economy. I'm saying this because it was kind of an alternative employment strategy that was weaved into the system by the politicians who are failing in their duty to create long-term sustainable jobs for this country or for the youth of this country. I recall many years ago that in this country, if people were thinking about investing in any venture or any, I'll say, endeavor that will bring them resources, people were investing in agriculture, people were investing in cocoa. You used to see people move all the way from the urban cities, go to the rural areas, get parcels of land, and start planting cocoa. Then, and at the same time, and even whilst we were still doing cocoa, we were also doing mining. Much more very regulated, very localized, and really strong regulations in place there. And then over time, our political leadership failed seriously in addressing the job security, the unemployment issues in this country. So they decided pushing a narrative of let's allow other young people to mine where the big people are mining. And so with that, gradually, I would say from the last 20 years, we've seen a gradual messaging that has been pushed by the political elite to favor the extraction of gold, to push for almost blanket mining activities across the country. As if, as a country, other parcels of land in this country are not used for cocoa, are not useful for water services, are not useful for forest conservation. I'm saying this because Ghana, even though we are blessed with a lot of gold, Engineer Sando has said, we also must know that our gold is sitting under our farmlands, our river bodies, and so you don't just get up and go and take it. And instead of we having the regulatory agencies to really back up and ensure that the impunity was dealt with, we saw some complicity on the part of the local police, local intelligence services, to the point where Galamsey, as we call it now, has become so normalized that it is very easy to go to most communities across the country where mining is happening and see people get up in the morning, do their normal morning chores, and pick their pickaxes and they are going to the bush. We know they are going to do illegal activity, but nobody asks them any questions. They go and come, and in the evening they leave large. So, I mean, we use the political excuse of no job excuses or employment excuses to allow people to start living large, taking all Ghanaians for ransom. Ghanaians for ransom because as people are mining, they are destroying our rivers, they are destroying our food system, they are destroying our forest system, and an illegal activity. And just like armed robbery and other illicit and illegal activities, it must be treated with the necessary boundaries of the law. But that's not how we are seeing it, unfortunately. And that's how, as a country now, we are having to drink and eat and sleep with Galamsey almost every day of our lives now.
All right. So Engineer Sando Ali says that it's the people who are funding it that should be, looked at. Investigation should go into that. So as an advocate, as an environmentalist, how would you, what's the word, try to sensitize the people in these communities about being able to, for lack of a better, articulative word, sell out the people who...
A complex challenge. we have the solution at hand. Luckily, somewhere in 2019, the previous government, under the leadership of Mr. Nana Akufo-Addo, did pass a law which is known as Act 995. That law was supposed to support the existing minerals and mining regulations and laws on how best to effectively ensure that the escalating impunity of Galamsey can be addressed. And with that law, it says that anybody who has equipment, so all those who are fabricating champagnes, all those who are fabricating trommels by the roadside, we see all of them as we travel across the country. All those who are financing intelligence bureau, they have a representative there. Okay. There is police also over there with several CIDs. And I'm telling you, and on authority, that every BNI team in every district, they know who the financiers of Galamsey are. They know those who are bringing the equipment at what time and what day. They know where each person is working illegally. The only reason why they are not, shining the light on these issues is because there are certain forces preventing them from doing it. So it doesn't even have to fall to the hands of community people. The NIB lives with us. They live in our communities. The police live with us. They live in our communities. Information flow. You can imagine that even in places like the Eastern region, around Chedi areas, I have heard of several countless issues of people dying in the pits and in the mining area. It's supposed to be a whole holistic set of interventions. As you are monitoring the excavators that are moving to the ground, you need to be also checking those who are fabricating equipment by the roadside. You also need to be following up on the finances of people who are engaged in Galamsey on the side. You also need to check with your police and intelligence agencies and ensure that they are really committed to the job that they are doing. And we don't see why there should be police commands, there should be districts. We know how to deal with it, but it is just we deciding that, look, let's close our eyes because it's our own people who are doing it. Right. And that is why I think that without any dedication from our leadership, dedication is the key word here. If we don't have that leadership, we'll just be talking about Galamsey for the rest of our lives. If it does not kill us before that.
Right. So before you go, what alternative livelihoods or community-based solutions can replace the economic appeal that Galamsey seemingly has?
So you asked a very difficult question. The point where Galamsey people are now, they are too exposed, they are used to living large. They go for the mining not because they are poor. Yes, there are a few of them who are really, really poor, but most of them go into the mining so that they can live large. We organized a program with certain state agencies in some of the districts, and the information we had is that with projects that the Ministry of Lands is supporting, with the World Bank is supporting, where they are trying to train miners or youth in mining into some more alternative activities, the youth will come for those meetings 1 or 2, 3 weeks, and then they'll stop coming because they realize that no, they're wasting their time. They are now used to living so big that the normal sustainable income that our system gives people for working, they cannot deal with it. And that is why you understand that when they run out of cash and there's no goal for them to go and also explore, they end up becoming armed robbers on the road and try to extort from people and take things by force. So that's why it is going to be very, very difficult to find any livelihood that is going to be able to meet these Galamseyers at the point of their current status, at the point of their current expenditure. So the best way to deal with this issue is to take an approach of both the carrot and the stick. You open up the training centers, as they say they will do with the responsible community mining and skills development. You open up the training centers, you invite people in. If they don't come in, then you hit hard at those who are refusing to listen to the alternative. That means that these people have made up their mind that deliberately they are going to be lawless. And you deal with them as you deal with any lawless group of people. So you use the carrot, the opportunity you created for them, open it for them and all of that. And then if they are refusing to work with you on it, then you bring the full force of the law upon them. That is the only way we can deal with it.
Right.
But we can't be massaging it always. Oh, these people need employment, so we don't do what to do. These people need employment.
Thank you so much. I think we are due for a discussion here in the studio. So one of these days, we hope that you will join us. All right. Okay. So we have a few comments and questions actually. Yes. Where do I start? Okay. Now we have Hello Koko Digest. Sometimes the youth join in Galamsey because farming is no longer profitable. We need to fix agriculture if we want to stop Galamsey. And this is Kojo Ashong in Medina. Then, hi Ira, we hear the government officials condemn Galamsey, but we also hear allegations that some of them are involved. Until that is addressed, this fight will not work. And this is my humble opinion. This is Anita Mensah in Kwashiman. Then we have Good Morning Koko Digest. The helicopter crash shows us that Galamsey is not just an environmental problem, it is a national security issue costing lives. This is Helena in Kwabenya. Then we have Hello Yaira. This discussion is very necessary. The rivers we depend on for water are turning brown every day. If nothing is done urgently, we will be buying water like petrol. This is Charlotte Webb in Ofankor. Then we also have great discussion, Koko Digest. We, the youth, need jobs, but it shouldn't come at the cost of our lives. The helicopter crash should push us to demand safer legal opportunities. This is Yakubu in Asylum Down. Then we have here, please, I heard your guest say that because I know when the police arrest armed robbers, it doesn't end there, but more investigations are done to know how many people they are working with and even where they get their guns from. Can't the government do same after arresting the boys at the site? This is Daniel at Ofankobara. So I think this was based on what you said earlier. Then he's asking again, because I heard our president say the same thing when he was asked if he would grant amnesty to the people jailed because of Galamsey. He said the same thing, that the boys are just the people working at the site, but they have some big men funding them. We know the solution as we continue the conversation here. So, Engineer Lee, I would like to ask, what's the difference then between the alluvial gold and then the normal gold alloy? Well, I've forgotten the names.
You see, it's the alluvial that is creating all this, polluting our bodies. And I mean, if I had, personally, I always say that alluvial mining should be banned in this country, because that is what they do. They call it dig and wash. Okay. They just go to the riverside or anywhere, they take the soil, put it on the champagne, and they put water and they wash, and then and they don't care where the water goes. You see, in China this is banned, and they come here and they are doing it for us. You know, so, and that is where it is. The hard rock, you have to go down. Okay. And when you are coming, you bring only the ore. And maybe you're having one sack. You go to the grinding mill and mill it. And even with that one, they are only taking 19 to 21% of the gold. The free gold, because they don't apply that illegally. They are using mercury and all cyanide and things. Yes. But when they go down and get it, and when they go, they target where the gold is, chisel or blast and take it, and they bring it to the surface for processing. And so that one is very, very minimal in terms of destruction. Okay. As compared to the alluvial. But the alluvial is where they go on the river, the riverbed, the banks of the river, everywhere they dig and just wash, and then the soil.
But sometimes we hear that these mines collapse and things like that. So is it that after they go into the ground, they don't do the necessary due diligence?
That is the thing. There are two ways. It could be the ones that are doing the surface mining alluvial. It's loose material. They dig and they are not careful about safety. And so before they realize, and because especially when you are digging and getting the one that you are getting more gold and washing, you forget about safety. And before they realize, it has collapsed on them. I mean, it's not just the forest, the water bodies that we are losing. Our human resource. Yeah. I can give you statistics about the deaths of people in Galamsey sites.
Okay, I think we should let's have that.
I can give you some statistics on that. You see,
so they know
it is not just that. For instance, I will say that for our human resource, most severe on occupational health and safety, on March 1st, 2011, 2 brothers perished at Kibi in the eastern region. On the 25th of July 2011, 100 people died at Dunkwa, Onofin, central region. On 10th September 2011, 1 person died in the Bosomi Frema district, Ashanti region. On 25th August 2011, 2 people died at 4 bungalows near Pristia in the Pristia-Huni Valley municipality of the western region. On the 11th of February 2012, 5 people died at... They don't report these ones. And mostly when you die, when the pit collapses and you are not an indigent, they keep quiet. They just keep quiet. If there is a collapse and there is not an indigent from that area, they just leave it to go. And so that is why. So that side we don't see the deaths. We don't hear about the deaths. Every time they keep quiet about that. But if we look at that aspect, it means our human resource is also going. And some of these people are graduates who go to work there. Some of them are on vacation. They want to go and get money to go back to school. And they go and get into this place and they perish. You see, like we're saying, the underground. If it is a place where they know how to protect themselves by doing putting timber to support. Some of them have worked in the underground mines in Obuasi and Pristia and all those, so they know what to do. But sometimes it's out of I don't know, greed. You know, they want to think quick. Some of these deaths, like I mentioned, like the Bani, the 16 people and things, it's as a result of smoke. Sometimes you see, because you are going down, you are meeting water. So you need to dewater the pit, the mine. So they put in pumps. And imagine that you take the pump and put it inside the pit. And incomplete combustion as the machine is running. And so it's producing carbon monoxide. Even if you drive your car and park in your garage and the engine is...
With like the security agencies and the district assemblies and even traditional leaders so that they can clamp down on these offenders. Yes.
I know we try to do some project. I mean, we have something we call ACOBE. That is environmental performance and environmental performance rating and public disclosure. We had a meeting with the National House of Chiefs to see how we can use it to curb this illegal mining menace. So we had a meeting. We said, look, can we have, and what we do with the mining company, that's the large scale, is that we rate them according to colors. If you get red, it means you're not performing well. Until you, so it's red, blue, red, orange, blue, green, and then gold. Gold as the best. You know, so the paramours. You know, they didn't like it.
But were you able to still enforce it?
No, because if they don't, how can you start it? Because we must get their buy-in and start this thing so that will help them look down to the list of the chiefs so that there is no galamsey in your locality. And there are some of the chiefs who are doing it. I mean, there is I can't remember the name of the community, but this chief is in the Enchi, in the western region. He said he would never allow galamsey in his place. And it has never. He's even on his sick bed. They promised to send him to South Africa for treatment. They promised to buy him an SUV. He said no. And so that place, it's not possible.
Right.
So it is, if the leaders of the communities stand, it can work. Look at what happened in that community where they had an engagement with the police. The assemblyman and all those were part of the people who were fighting them. You know, so
enforced to safeguard Ghana's natural resources from, you know, further depletion. From what we have now, you know, in a few years, it might even be, we may not even be able to recover. Yes. So what reforms do you think would best help?
Reforms. I mean, as for the laws, we have them. The laws are there. We should ensure that the enforcement is key. And then also, one of the major things that we can do with the small-scale mining space to ensure that it is done sustainably is the exploration. Because if they don't know where the resource is, then we'll continue to do the trial and error.
Okay.
Solution, and then delineate the ore body, and then we can now give it out to them for them to mine. And therefore they can then do the responsible mining.
Okay.
Else it will continue to be the trial and error. And you see, many people talk about cocoa farms being destroyed and the like. Sometimes it's not the cocoa farmers wish with the EPA. And I was at Kwabe Brim. I remember the headmistress, a Roman Catholic sister. She one day called me and said, look, I should come and see. They woke up in the morning and they have come to dig around all the palm trees looking for diamonds. So it is something that we as a nation would have to, especially in this time and what has happened, this is the time for us to curb it and curb it once and for all.
All right.
Thank
you so much. This conversation, I think we didn't get to ahead.